Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new Tech Reviews and Gadgets episode. Well, today we're reviewing a smart 3-axis gimbal stabilizer for smartphones. And you guys are currently watching CrewElite. Today's episode, we're taking a look at the Hohem iSteady Mobile Plus 3-axis stabilizer gimbal for your smartphones. And this is by far the most unique gimbal I'm probably, I've tested out on this channel. With this gimbal, there's just so many features that are packed into this gimbal. You're able to do pan, tilt, inception mode, panoramic, dolly zoom, just so many different things. This gimbal does have a dedicated app that you can run all the different features through, do all the different things with it. It even has face tracking and object tracking, which is really impressive. And there's just so many different accessories with this, so many different things you can do with it, and you guys will really be impressed by the end of this video with all the things I show off in this video. As always, product information, specifications, and details will be listed down below in the video description, alongside with the link to make a purchase if you are interested in buying this stabilizer gimbal. But right now, what we're going to do is actually move to the first look and unboxing portion of this video. Here is the packaging of the Hohem iSteady Mobile Plus gimbal. And all over the box, we have a few specifications and details about this gimbal. But now, let's get cracking inside this box. And inside this box, we have a case that includes everything for this gimbal. Inside the case, we have a quick start guide that will quickly get you up and running with this gimbal. But we also have a dedicated user manual that will get you more detailed steps on how to utilize this gimbal. We do get included a USB Type-C to USB Type-A charging cable. And we also have a mini tripod that you can attach underneath the gimbal. But now, let's take a look at the main highlight of this video, and that is the gimbal itself. You can see how sophisticated this gimbal really is. The packaging of it, the overall presentation of it looks sophisticated and nice, and there's just a lot of features that this gimbal itself has to offer. My overall unboxing experience with this stabilizer gimbal was really enjoyable. I love how everything was laid out in this case. With this case, it just protects everything, and it can be used as, to transport this gimbal around. I just love that they did include this case because it's just really convenient. And all these additional accessories, the overall design and construction of the stabilizer gimbal just felt really nice to the touch. We have all these different accessories, such as our tripod leg, so we can actually attach this on to the stabilizer itself so that it basically can stand upright on its own. And then we also have our dedicated USB Type-C charging cable to charge up the stabilizer. And then obviously we have our user manual and all that stuff that I showed off. But overall, I'm just really impressed with the packaging. I just love that you're able to kind of pack everything up in this bag and just basically take this on the go. But now let's actually take a look at the gimbal itself. I'm more curious to see how this gimbal looks more close and personal. You can see this is the gimbal itself, and this is its in most compact form. This is the way you're gonna have it when you put it back in the bag. Obviously, we don't have it on right now, so you'll see it's like, rotating around. It's not staying in place. And you are able to also adjust the length. So depending on your phone, you are able to adjust so that it can actually fit your phone. This does have a max payload of 280 grams. So make sure your phone or device isn't too heavy for this, or else your gimbal may not function the way it should. And then obviously right here we have all our different controls, all our different buttons for the gimbal itself. We have all our different, so this will rotate, do the 3-axis rotation knob right here. We can see our battery indication, which I will show off when we power this on. Our record button, our tilt, not tilt, but our zooming, panning button. So if you wanted to zoom or zoom out, you are able to with this gimbal as well. You can also switch the different modes with the button that's on the middle right there. So this gimbal is just well equipped with so many features. And additionally, on the side, you can see we have our DC in, and that's just simply our USB-C port to charge up this gimbal when it's dead. And this gimbal has a runtime of about 12 hours on a single charge. So you charge this up, you should be able to use it for a pretty long time. But what I also like about it is, you know, you could plug a power bank and utilize it as well. But a very unique thing that this gimbal has is a dedicated USB type A port. And this is technically can be used to charge your phone, charge any lights you may attach onto this gimbal. So it is kind of unique that they did include a USB type A port that you can utilize to supply power to an additional device you have, which is kind of cool. And then what I like the most about this gimbal, or at least one of the things I like, really like about this gimbal, is this threaded base, or this threaded screw that they added on the side. And with this threaded screw, you simply can plug, lights, you can plug different accessories onto this gimbal, and they also have the same thing on the top right here. So if I wanted to, I could technically attach a light switch onto this gimbal. And then additionally on the bottom, we have another threaded base, and that would be used for our mini tripod right here. But you can also use this for an actual tripod you may have laying around. So if you wanted to attach this onto a more robust tripod, you have that function with this threaded base that's on the bottom of the stabilizer. And then additionally, we have this tilt button right here, or this button is also utilized to basically set the gimbal in its home position. And I will show that off here in a second. What that means is, you can have this gimbal kind of rotated off to a weird angle, and if I just click on this or double tap it, it will basically move it back into its normal positioning. So that's kind of cool to see. But overall, it just feels like it just feels like a nice gimbal. It really does. It feels like it's a really well-built gimbal. It's really nicely designed, and overall, I love the construction of this gimbal. And I feel really good about putting my phone here and not worrying about it getting damaged as I'm using it. Before we set our phone into this gimbal, let's attach this mini tripod that they included. So I'm going to screw this in at the bottom, and you can easily open up the legs of this tripod. And now that we have our mini tripod installed onto this gimbal, now we can take our phone and insert our phone into this gimbal. And you got to be mindful, they do give you directions on how you want to place your phone, so be mindful and actually follow that. It gives you some sort of guidance right here. I don't know if you guys can even read that, but I'm just going to simply slide my phone in, and you want to keep your phone in as much as you can in the middle. It can be a little tricky though. There we go. And you want to slide it in as much as you can. Boom. And I slide mine's in. You could also adjust depending on your phone if you need to pull it out more, and you can lock that in place, or you can open it up. So now if I wanted to, I could either slide my phone in more like that. But since my phone is more on the heavier side and a lot more bigger than most phones, I want to kind of keep mine more out and then lock it in place so that when I do power this on, this gimbal can actually support my phone and not move around. And what I like to do when I am operating a gimbal is to hold it in place as I power it on. And in order to power on this gimbal, you simply need a plus on that red plus, not red plus, but this red button. That's the record button. You just hold it down and it should power on. So let me hold it down. Okay, there we go. Now we have our phone attached onto this gimbal. I can get very nice shots. I can go up. I can use the pan and tilt functionality to rotate the gimbal around, go up and down, side to side. But the real fun comes when you go on the app, because the app has so many more features and things you can do. And what I like about this gimbal is there's this trigger button on the back, and this trigger button allows you to switch to the sport mode, but it also allows you to basically reset your gimbal. So like right now you can see the gimbal's not in the normal position. It's kind of off center to the side right here, but if I click on this trigger button or double click, it'll take me back into the normal positioning. So that's really, really neat. But now let's actually, get the app running so that I can show you guys more the advanced features that this stabilizer has. So this right here is the main interface of the camera setup if you were to actually connect this to your phone. You can switch your cameras, so like if I click this button right here, I can switch the camera, so right now it's facing me. And the cool thing is I can actually zoom in on this, which is really, really cool. And I can even change the resolution of this camera. And yeah, it's really, really neat. You can even change, you know, if you want autofocus or an object focus or tracking focus, so like a pulsing focus. But let me switch the camera around because I prefer to use the camera in front. And you can go in, change its resolution. So, you know, I have up to 4K. I could do 30 frames per second. Same thing, I can, you know, change it to different object modes. So this is object tracking, and I can select something within the image, and it will essentially just track that image, which is kind of cool. And then we also have face tracking. So with face tracking, I guess with face tracking, you would have to use this mode right here. So right now, if my face moves, you can see how the gimbal itself is kind of rotating and making sure, you know, I'm still in the shot. Look at that. That is sick. Wow. Oh no, that's impressive. Look at that. That is actually really impressive. We have our settings, you know, our gimbal parameter settings, all the different working modes, which is like pan follow, pan tilt follow, locking all the different, you know, axes, and then POV, which is the all follow mode, where, you know, it basically just follows everything. We have our follow speed. You can change the speed of that. You can go super fast if you want. Mode of response, you know, the left or right joystick, you can change what it does. You have reverse, you have speed, you have tilt joystick reverse, tilt joystick speed, auto calibration. You can also restore your settings. And then, you know, also with the camera settings, you can go in, change the photo size, change, you know, if you want to add a timer, if you want to add a grid, so you can have like a more professional look with your camera. It's the zoom speed, your professional mode, and you can even select what camera you want to utilize. So if I go back in here, I can select my telephoto camera, and obviously telephoto, you tend to need to get closer to the subject. And then if I wanted to, I can also utilize my ultra wide camera, which really gets a very wide shot of whatever I'm capturing. So there's a lot of different, you know, things that this gimbal has, and it's so hard for me to kind of showcase everything in a short video. If you click on this button right here, we have a beauty mode where you can kind of beautify your face and everything. If you click on this button, it shows you different gestures you can make to your camera, and it will, you know, take pictures or take videos. It's just insane. And then on the side here, I don't know if you guys can notice, but we actually have different functionalities. So like we have time lapse. You can set up time lapse. You can do slow motion. You can do video. You can do photo. You can also do moments. So you can, you know, do inception, smart dolly zoom, clone me. You know, just so many things. So I would recommend, if you are going to use this, definitely use the application, because with the application, you just have so many features. And we can try inception. Let's try inception mode. So I'm going to film. Let's turn it on. And it's going to film. It's just going to rotate around. Look at that. Oh, that is sick. It is just rotating around right now. Wow. And obviously, you know, you would use this in a more suitable area. Obviously, where I'm at right now, this isn't really the best place for me to demonstrate this, but you can just get really nice shots. And let me just record a quick sample video. So if I click on the record button, it's going to start filming, and you can see, look at that. That is so cool. I can, you know, tilt. Actually, it looks like right now we only have pan and follow. So it's not gonna tilt, it's just gonna pan up and pan down. Look at that. So I can even zoom in, I can zoom out. Zoom in onto the box, zoom out. There's just a lot of different functionalities, and it's really hard for me to really showcase and give everything, you know, a dedicated time slot. It's just, this thing is just jam-packed. And since it's software-based, you know, they can always go in, add more things, add new features. So you know, it's something that you just kind of have to play with and kind of experience on your own. There is one more thing I do want to test out before we wrap up this video, and that is that object tracking. So with object tracking, like for instance, I click on this and let's shift this down a little bit, and I'm going to take this water bottle I have over here. I'm just going to put that in frame, and what I'm going to do is essentially just draw a box over the water bottle. Boom. And now it's basically going to track the water bottle. So if I move this water bottle around, you can see it's following the water bottle. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Oh, this is going to be so handy, especially if I don't have a cameraman. I can easily just film myself now with this. And this is by far one of the most advanced gimbals I have ever tested out on the channel. As you guys saw with my testing and demonstration, this gimbal is jam-packed. Even if you don't use the application, you have a lot of features you can do. But with the application, you can just go on a hayride. You know, there's just so many things that you can do through the application. So many things you can configure, so many things you can change and manipulate. And I love how they included that camera application, because essentially it's just like, you know, your typical camera app, but this is just your camera app on steroids essentially. So it's really neat, it's really cool. I love the pan and tilt functionality. I love the object tracking. I love the face recognition tracking as well. It's just very impressive, all the different things that they were able to pull off of this. That is going to conclude our video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tech reviews and gadgets episode. And if you did enjoy, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button, and also turn on post notifications on to get updates and alerts when we do upload. Have any questions or concerns, leave a comment. Enjoy the video, leave a like, and also share this video to anybody who may be interested in some sort of, you know, 3-axis stabilizer gimbal. Also, product information, specifications, and details will be listed down below in the video description, alongside with the link to make a purchase if you are interested in buying this stabilizer gimbal. Thank you all for tuning in to this review. I had a blast making this video, and I hope to see you all on the next episode. CrewElite signing off. Thank you all for watching, and have a good rest of your day.